let me go ahead and finish it off with the Chicago Bears. So Chicago Bears, Chicago Bears, Chicago Bears going into 2025, man. They may have done something, a little offseason acquisition of the name of Ben Johnson. This put it like this: if the Chicago Bears do not win, have a really, really good and exciting season this year with the receivers that they have, with the additions at O line that they have. I mean, they have Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson, Drew Dowman. If they don't win with the defense that they have, if they don't win with who was considered a generational quarterback coming into his second year, who, regardless of what you feel about Caleb Williams, he did throw for 20 touchdowns to only 6 picks. He's a good quarterback, a good baseline. And they have one of the best, most storied, hyped head coaching hires of all time. If they don't produce with this collection of talent, they are cursed. I will never talk ish about them again because it's proof that they are snake bitten for life. Like there gotta be something about the Bears. But doing the research for this one, right? This was pretty interesting because we could talk about the teams, we could talk about who is who and this and whatever. Ultimately, what it comes down to is who is Ben Johnson going to be? Is Ben Johnson going to be Sean McVay, or is Ben Johnson going to be somebody who we are very familiar with the Miami Dolphins, Mike McDaniels, which is to say, is he going to be able to be somebody who's going to have sustained success year after year after year? Turnover doesn't matter because he's so good that he's truly a great coach. Or is he going to be somebody who has a great initial run, but when the defense figures out what he's doing, it don't look the same? Mike McDaniel, when he was the run game coordinator with the 49ers, was called a genius. He's this and that, which is true. All of that is true. Not taken away from him. But people punch him in the mouth, and now people think he's ass. So it happens, and it goes very fast. The thing about Ben Johnson and all his plays and all his schemes and everything that he did, the thing that is concerning, and I don't want to say it's concerning, but the thing that I don't know if it can be replicated is, are you going to have Panay Sewell in the best offensive line and Jahmyr Gibbs and, and another good running back and Jared Goff? Are you coming with that too? Because so many of his schemes are misdirections, play actions that require you to have a great offensive line and an incredible run game. You gonna try to do a misdirection, toss, sweep, shovel pass to a wide receiver, and you don't got that Lions team? Like, are you gonna have the time to do it? Are you gonna have the personnel to do what you wanted to do? Because, hey, he was really feeling himself, Rod. Like real deal. Like he was legit feeling himself. Like I'm watching some plays. I'm like, this dude like for people in the backfield and then throwing it to Jared Goff over a linebacker's head. It looks incredible. It is incredible. But you're not doing it with the Lions anymore. So it all comes down to that, right? Like the Bears are better. Joe Tooney is absolutely an upgrade. Jonah Jackson is
He's
absolutely an
elite.
upgrade.
Yeah, yeah, he's elite.
Yeah, like these are great players, right? Caleb Williams is more talented than Jared Goff, like in any capacity. Caleb Williams, a good Caleb Williams is better than Jared Goff will ever be in his life. So the building blocks are there, but it is going to be interesting because what are you going to do when people are not going to let you do what you want to do? That's the ultimate sign of a great coach. Um, from every interview that I've seen, he seems like he really is a good coach. Like the energy, the passion, when somebody's like not comfortable in what they're saying, they have to present something to you. Brandon Staley. Brandon Staley was one of the biggest, fakest head coaches of all time, bro. That dude didn't believe his own farts half the time, bro. Like I believe Ben Johnson when I see Ben Johnson. I see the conviction. I see the passion. I see a man who is extremely confident in what he is bringing to the Chicago Bears. So it's going to be interesting, dog. I want them to be great. I need them to be great, man. A good Bears team, bro. I need that. Like, how many years are we going to laugh at the Bears, man? Like,
I mean,
Hey,
look, I'll say this when it comes to the Bears, Herbie. I think the toughest thing for them this season will be the division. Like, I think because they're in a division with a Lions team that has been ready to contend for a few years now. They're in a division with a Packers team that's trying to break through that glass ceiling. They're in a division with a Vikings team that with pretty much an back was able to make a run and make one of the most incredible runs we've seen a team do that had no expectations in a long time. So when you add into the fact, and I just thought about it, Herbie, when you think about the NFC North, you can make the argument, I think, pretty easily that they have the best coaches. They have the best coaches collectively. When you consider Kevin O'Connell, you
yes,
consider
yes,
Matt LaFleur,
100%.
Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell. Every one of those teams, and Ben Johnson is not a proven commodity as a head coach, but given the impact that he had as an offensive coordinator, it gives you kind of like it gives you a boost on how to feel about him being a head coach. It gives
I
you that.
have an antidote to that too, right? So one of the interviews I watched with Ben Johnson, and this is why I think he's going to be good, and this is the thing that I think he picked up from Dan Campbell, which Dan Campbell does not get enough credit for being a brilliant seeker of good coordinators. That is a skill.
Being able
If
to
you good,
put a staff, that's what killed Brian Flores, not being able to put a staff together.
like that is a
Talent.
skill to see it, to identify it, and to enrich it and develop it. That is Dan Campbell's 100% greatest skill. And hearing Ben Johnson talked about everybody on the staff, and he was like, the first thing that I did was think about the things I'm not good at and find somebody that's good at it. You know what
Smart
I'm
man.
saying? That is a person who is, you got to understand, he could have been the head coach of the Redskins. Like, he loved being around Dan Campbell to the point where it's like, I'll do it again. Like, we're not finished yet. I love what I'm learning from you. I'm love from the culture that I'm absorbing from you that's going to help me for the rest of my life when I ultimately decide to take a job, whatever that job is going to be. Now we know that the job is the Chicago Bears, obviously. So I will say I'm bullish. I'll say I'm bullish, coach.
I
And
mean,
if
listen.
that is true, then it is 100% the best coach division in all of football.
I mean, Herbie, it's going to be hard, which is why I think it's going to be such a tough division. But the one thing in the Bears' favors, and what I started with was the hardest thing will be their division, and they have a few games like the game against the Commanders. They have a couple of games on their schedule that'll be tough. But the Bears' schedule is pretty easy, man. Like they have, look, I say it's easy,
Relatively.
relatively based on the season, but in terms of the opponents that they have lined up, the Bears will have a chance to kind of get their feet wet. They'll have a chance to get some warm up. They'll have a chance to build themselves up, build some confidence. Caleb Williams with a completely revamped offensive line with new weapons. When you think of Olamide, what's his name, Colston Loveland, who they drafted in the draft, who I think is going to be now. He's like another Laporta, if you ask me. But that's what they're hoping he's going to be. I mean, man, I tell you, the NFC North, looking at this whole division, Herbie, it's going to be a real tough division, but it's going to be exciting. Every game is going to be a real dogfight because it's not like, the AFC East where you have a limit or two, right? Like, this is a division where every team realistically has a chance to really compete for a playoff spot in the NFC. So, man, I can't wait for football. It already has me hyped for football, man.
Nah, me
Already,
too, man. I'm so
ready,
excited
man.
for football, man.